There was a time when monitors used to be all ugly and hideous with super thick bezels. But since the introduction of LED monitors, particularly those with IPS panels, things took a major turn in how the monitors physically look. When introduced, TN panel LED monitors were certainly thin compared to the old CRTs, of course. But IPS panels are what truly started pushing the limit of how small the bezels can be. I still remember the ASUS Designo NX series monitors featuring an IPS panel released way back in 2013, which had left me in complete awe with a bezel less than 2 centimeters thick. But at that time, these monitors were premium grade with a premium price tag, as were many that featured an IPS panel. But we have since come a long way. These days, the market is rife with monitors featuring thin bezels at a very reasonable price tag. Now, there are a couple of reasons why one would want to get a thin bezel monitor. The first being that these monitors are ideal for a multi-monitor setup. The thin bezels in a multi-monitor setup improve the continuity between two screens, and is also less distracting for the users. The second important reason, of course, is the aesthetics. A thin bezel monitor is not only pleasing to the eye, but also maximizes the physical screen real estate that you get. As a gamer who enjoys having multiple screens, I find thin bezel monitors to be far more immersive as compared to a setup that uses thicker bezels. It goes without saying here that if you want absolute immersion or absolutely no bezel distraction at all, then get yourself an ultra-wide or a super ultra-wide monitor. But of course, not everyone has pockets deep enough to afford these beasts, and some just prefer to stick to the average 16:9 or 16:10 aspect ratio monitors anyways. With that in mind, in this video, I'll go over a few of the thinnest bezel monitors in the market, so I hope you enjoy. Point to note, the links to these products are in the description below. So I'm going to start off with one of the best budget offerings in the market, the Packard Bell AirFrame. I mean, this monitor here is a testament to how far we've come in terms of bezels. This monitor has bezels only about half a centimeter or 0.2 inches thick. To get that in the budget price category is truly spectacular in my opinion. While this monitor does not have all the fancy specs of the more advanced monitors, like a high refresh rate or extraordinary resolution, it is excellent for office users, budget gamers, and even for those who just want excellent productivity without the distraction of bezels in between. You can find this monitor in 21, 24, and 27 inch sizes, and they are all rated at full HD resolution, refresh rate of 75Hz, and a response time of 5 milliseconds. Again, not the best core specs, but for the price and bezels, this is an excellent budget option. Also, many of you will be quick to recognize the name Packard Bell, as it has existed in the industry for a long time. It was a common household PC name, then disappeared for a long time. Eventually, the company got acquired by Acer in 2008, and it seems like it's making a comeback once again. Next up in the budget category, we have the Dell S2425HS and the S2725HS. Now, as far as the bezels go, these once again offer some of the thinnest in the market, with a thickness of only about 0.2 inches or 0.5 centimeters. Both of these are general purpose monitors, largely intended for work and productivity, but can also be used as budget gaming monitors. As far as the core specs go, both of these monitors feature full HD resolution and 100Hz refresh rate, and surprisingly, they can cover 99% of the sRGB color space as well. So, for designers on a budget, this can be an excellent tool. Additionally, one of the best features in both of these monitors is that they offer dual 5-watt stereo speakers. It's rare to find monitors with speakers, let alone good ones, and this offers just that. The cherry on the cake here is that these monitors offer full ergonomic functionality, meaning you can tilt and swivel them. You can also adjust their height and rotate them. For the gamers out there who are looking for something powerful but at a budget with thin bezels, I recommend the AOC Q27G4XN. So this monitor employs a 3-sided frameless design. The only side that's relatively thick is the bottom side, which houses the OSD controls. But if you were to use this in a multi-monitor setup, you'd still have fairly nice continuity. The rest of the 3 sides are only 0.3 inches or 0.8 centimeters thick. This is not the thinnest on this list, and it's certainly thicker than the monitors I talked about earlier. But for the price and its gaming specs, it is extraordinary in my opinion. Now compared to the previous monitor, this ticks a lot of boxes for gamers. It has QHD resolution, 180Hz refresh rate so it can do a maximum of 180 frames per second. It also has a 1 millisecond response time despite being an IPS panel, and has a size of 27 inches. I understand the brand name AOC may not carry the same weight as ASUS, Samsung, MSI, or LG, but in the budget category, these are among the best monitors you can get. Now, if for some reason you don't trust the AOC brand, or if AOC does not provide service in your country, then you can check out the MSI G272 QPF. For a gaming monitor, this has some of the slimmest bezels at 0.2 inches or 0.6 centimeters thickness only. I mean seriously, very rarely will you find a gaming monitor featuring bezels this thin. So if continuity between two monitors is what you're after for a much better immersive immersive gaming experience, then I highly recommend this. In terms of core specs, it's very similar to the AOC monitor above, but MSI brand of course carries more weight as it has been long synonymous with gaming hardware and monitors. This monitor isn't as cheap as the AOC monitor talked about previously. It isn't super expensive either. It's a 27-inch gaming monitor with QHD resolution, 170Hz refresh rate so it can do a maximum of 170 FPS with 1 millisecond response time thanks to the fast IPS panel. Now if you're in search for a large 32-inch monitor which also happens to be gaming grade, then the best in this category is the LG 32 GN650B. Despite being big, this only has bezels of 0.3 inches or 0.8 centimeters only. But it's not just the bezels, but the overall package that impresses me. This essentially is an affordable large gaming monitor that comes with QHD resolution, 165Hz refresh rate, HDR10 capability, and even 95% coverage of the sRGB color space. Again, a complete package in my opinion. The monitors I've reviewed previously are either for general work, office, or for gaming. But what about a thin bezel monitor for professionals like editors and designers, who are looking for a screen with some of the best color reproduction? Well, in that case, I'd recommend the 27-inch ASUS Pro Art display. This has bezels of only 0.2 inches or 0.6 centimeters only, and for a professional monitor, this is fairly thin. As far as the core specs go, this monitor offers 4K resolution, top-of-the-line IPS panel, full DCI-P3, and Adobe RGB color gamut coverage with Delta E of less than 2. So it essentially comes factory calibrated. This concludes my top choices for the best thin bezel monitors. And once again, the links to all these products are in the description below. If you learned something of value, please subscribe to my channel and also perhaps leave a like.